We are on Spellbound, Chapter 7. That night his dreams were restful, lovely. Brianna had seen to that. There was a man aside, a gleaming black horse, riding hard over the hills, splashing through a bright splash of river, his gray cape bellowing in the brisk and icy wind. There was a witch who waited for him in the silver castle atop a spearing cliff where candles and torches burned gold. There was a globe of crystal, clear as water, where the world swam from decade to decade, century past century. There was love, sweet as honey, and mead, sharp as honed steel. And when he turned to her in the night, lost in dream, she opened for him and took him in. Brianna didn't sleep, nor did she dream. She lay in the circle of his arms while the white moon rose, and the shudders his hands had caused quieted. Who had loved her? She wondered. Cal or Colleen? She turned her face into his shoulder, seeking comfort, a harbor from fear on that last night before she could face her fate. He would be safe, she thought, laying a hand over his heart. She had taken great pains, at great risk, to assure it, and her safety depended on the heart that beat quietly under her palm. If he did not choose to give it freely, to stand with her linked by love, she was lost. So it had been ordained in fire and in blood on that terrible night a millennium before. For 1,000 years we sleep, 100 years times 10. But blood stays true and hearts are strong when we are born again. And in this place we meet, with love our gifted shield. In the shortest night the battle will rage, and our destiny be revealed. My warrior's heart his gift to me, his sword bright as the moon. If he brings both here of his own free will, we will bring to Alabaster his doom. When the dawn breaks that longest day, and his love has found a way, our lives will then be free of thee. As I will, so mote it be. The words of Brianna the Wise lifted high the blazing castle walls, echoed in her head, beat in her heart. When the moon rose again, it would be settled. Brianna lay in the circle of Cal's arms, listening to the wind whisper, and slept not at all. When Cal woke, he was alone, and the sun was streaming. For a moment he thought it had all been a dream. The woman, the witch, the ruined castle and tiny cottage, the globe that held the world, a hallucination brought on, he thought, the fatigue and stress and the breakdown he'd secretly worried about. But he recognized the room, the flowers still fresh in the vases, the scent of them, and Brianna on the air. True then, he pressed his fingers to his eyes to rub away sleep. All true, and all unbelievable, and all somehow wonderful. He got out of bed, walked into the charming little bathroom, stepped in the clawfoot tub, and twitching the circle curtain into place, he adjusted the shower for hot and let the steam rise. He hadn't showered with her yet, Cal thought, grinning as he turned his face into the spray, hadn't soaped that long, lovely body of hers until it was slick and slippery, hadn't seen the water run through that glorious mane of flame-red hair, had yet to ease inside her while the water ran hot, and the steam rose in clouds. His grin winked off, replaced by a look of puzzlement. Had he turned to her in the night in his dreams, seeking that tangle of tongues and limbs, that slow, satiny slide of bodies? Why couldn't he remember? Why couldn't he be sure? What did it matter? Annoyed with himself, he flicked off the water, snatched a towel from the heating rack. Whether it had been real or a dream, she was there for him as he'd wanted no one to before. Was it you or another she moved under in the night? Cal's eyes went dark as the voice whispered slyly in his head. He toweled off roughly. She uses you to gain her own ends, spellbinds until she has what she seeks. The room was suddenly airless, the stream thick and clogging his lungs. He reached blindly for the door and found only swirling air. She brought you here, drew you into her web. Other men have been trapped in it. She seeks to possess you, body and soul. Who will you be when she's done with you? Cal all but fell into the door, panicked by the shuddering instant when he thought it locked. But a slippery hand yanked it open, and he stumbled into the cool, sun-washed air of the bedroom. Behind him the mist swirled dark, shimmered greedily, then vanished. What the hell? He found himself trembling all over, like a schoolboy rushing out of a haunted house. It had seemed as if there had been something cold and slick and smelling of death crowded into that room with him, hiding in the mist. But when Cal turned and stepped back to the door, he saw only a charming room, a fogged mirror, and the thinning stream from a shower. Imagination worked in overtime, he thought, and let out half a laugh. Whose wouldn't, under the circumstances? but he shut the bathroom door firmly before he dressed and went down to find her. She was spinning wool, humming along with the quiet rhythmic clacking of spindle and wheel. Her hands were as graceful as the harpist on strings, and her wool was as white as innocence. Her dress was blue this morning, deep as her eyes. A thick silver chain carrying an ornately carved pendant hung between her breasts. Her hair was pinned up, leaving that porcelain face unframed. Cal's hands itched for his camera, and for her. She looked up, her hands never faltering, and smiled. "Well, did you decide to join the living then?" My body's cloak still in the States. My body's clock is still in the States. Is it late? Nearly 10:30. You'll be hungry, I'll wager. Come, have your coffee. I'll fix you breakfast. He caught her hand as she rose. You don't have to cook for me. She laughed, kissing lightly. Oh, we'd have trouble soon enough if you thought I did. As it happens, it's my pleasure to cook for you this morning. His eyes gleamed as he nibbled on her knuckles. A full Irish breakfast, the works, if you like. Now that you mention it. His voice trailed off as he took a long, sturdy look at her face. Her eyes were shadowed, her skin paler than it should have been. You look tired. You didn't sleep well. She only smiled and led him into the kitchen. Maybe you snore. I do not. Take it back. I only said maybe. Are you always so frisky of a morning? Maybe. I'll be friskier after I've had that coffee. He gave her a quick kiss before turning to pour himself a cup. You know, I noticed things this morning that I was too distracted to take in yesterday. You don't have a phone. She put a cast iron skillet on the burner. I have ways of calling those I need to call. Your kitchen is equipped with very modern appliances. If I choose to cook, why would I use a campfire? She sliced the Irish bacon and put it in the pan to sizzle and snap. Good point. You're out of sugar. You spin your own wool, but you have a state-of-the-art stereo. Music is a comfort, she murmured, watching him unearly to the pantry and fetch the unmarked tin that held her sugar supply. You make your own potions, but you buy your staples at the market. The contrast is fascinating. I wonder. I knew where to find this, he said quietly. I knew the sugar was in the second shelf in the white tin. The floor is in the blue one beside it. I knew that. 'Tis a gift. You've only forgotten to block it out. It shouldn't disturb you. Shouldn't disturb me? He neglected to add the sugar and drank his coffee black and bitter. It's yours to control, Cal, or to abjure. So if I don't want it, I can reject it. You've done so for half your life already. It was her tone bitter as the coffee, that his eyes narrowing. That annoys you. She cut potatoes into quick slices and slid them into hot oil. It's your choice. But it annoys you. All right, it does. You turn your back on it because you find it uncomfortable, because it disturbs your sense of normality, as I do. You shut out your gift, and me along with it, because we didn't fit into your world. A tiny world where magic is only an illusion done with smoke and mirrors, where witches wear black hats, ride broomsticks, and cackle on All Hallows' Eve. The eggs cooked. She spooned up porridge, plopped the bowl on the table, and went back to slice bread. A world where I have no place. I'm here, aren't I? Cal said evenly. Did I choose to be, Brianna, or did you will it? She uses you. She's drawn you into her web. Will it? Insulted, struck to the bone, she whirled around to face him. Is that what you think, after all I've told you, after all we've shared? If I accept even half of what you've told me, if I put aside logic and my own sense of reality and accept that I am standing in the kitchen with a witch, a stone's throw away from an enchanted castle, about to do battle of some kind with an evil wizard in war that has lasted a millennium, I think it's a remarkably reasonable question. Reasonable? With clenched teeth, she swept back to the stove and shoved eggs into a platter. It's reasonable, says he. Have I pulled him in like a spider does a fly and lured him across an ocean into the air? She thumped the laden platter down and glared at him. For what, might I ask you, Callan Farrell? For a fine bout of sex, for the amusement of having a man for a night or two? Well, I needn't have gone to such trouble for that. There's men enough in Ireland. Eat your breakfast, or you'll be wearing it on your head like a hat. Another time he might have smiled, but that sly voice was muttering in his ear. Still he sat and picked up his fork and tapped it idly against the plate. You didn't answer the question. If I'm to believe you can't lie to me, isn't it odd that you circled around the question and avoided a direct answer? Yes or no, Brianna, did you will me here? Yes or no? Her eyes were burning dry, though her heart was weeping. Did he know he was looking at her with such doubt, such suspicion, and such cold passion? There was no faith in the look, and none of the love she needed. One night, she thought, a stab of despair had not been enough. No, Callan, will you hear I did not. If that had been my purpose or in my power, would I have waited so long and so lonely for you? I asked you to come, begged without pride, for I needed you, but the choice to come or not was yours. She turned away, gripping the counter, as she looked out the window toward the sea. I'll give you more, she said, as time is short. You broke my heart when you shut me out of yours, broke it to pieces, and it's taken me years to mend it as best I could. That choice was yours as well, for the knowledge was there in your head, and again in your heart if you chose to use it. All the answers are there, and you have only to look. I want to hear them from you. There are some I can't tell you that you must find for yourself. She opened her eyes again and lifted her chin and turned back to look at him. Her face was still pale, he noted, her eyes too dark. The hair she bundled up was slipping into pins, and her shoulders were stiff and straight. But there's something that's mine to tell, and I'll give you that. I was born loving you. There's been no other in my heart, even when you turned from me. Everything I am, or was, or will be, is yours. I cannot change my heart. I was born loving you, she said again, and I will die loving you. There is no choice for me. Turning, she bolted from the room.